What is going on, guys? Stardust-oneworldreviews here, and I'm going to give out some quick reviews. I'm going to talk about films that I did see in the past couple months. Maybe one reason or another was I didn't have much to talk about them, or some other stuff I never got a chance to review. There are a lot of movies I'm going to talk about, so not beyond the bush, let's get started. First one I'm going to talk about is Smallfoot. I just thought online isn't anything amazing or groundbreaking or anything. But it's actually a decent, fun film at best, honestly. It's definitely one of the better anime films I've seen this year. If you're looking for someone that's very fun, enjoyable, that has good message to teach your kids, then I would actually recommend seeing it. Again, it isn't anything special. Isn't one thing in film that you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna hate, oh my god. But there's some solid animation, the way that is good for the most part, some songs are good, has some good humor, some good moments on some good characters, and it does have good intentions, especially with message. But some of the voice acting isn't that good, especially from James Corden. Some of the songs can be pretty boring and bad, like some songs here and miss for me, honestly. Some I really like, some I kind of don't like. Some even can be pretty awful times, and some of the characters can be bland. The story is very uninteresting most of the time, though, but if you're looking for something fun that's fun, decent, and something that kids will love and adults will be watching, I would mention Smallfoot. But I would give it a 60 out of B minus. It doesn't enjoy as much as I did, but yeah, it's a decent enough film. Next film is White Boy Rick, which is one of the most potentially wasted movies I've seen this year. Like, this had a very interesting story to tell, but the film itself is just honestly. I will say Matthew McConaughey is the best about it. He does give a fantastic performance, the big bright spot of the film. And this leads Shiver actor Richie Mushin, which was also great here as well. The relationship was great. I really dug the between him and Matthew McConaughey. It is very well shot. It does have some good moments here and there. And this is what actually seems very interesting, and if we explore the right way, it has potential. But unfortunately, how this film is structured and how it tells the story is definitely the biggest problem with this movie. And because this film really just glosses over just very important aspect of this known story, and it ends up lessening the impact that it should have. Like, this one of those movies where you feel better if you had done like an 8 or 13 episode miniseries to truly expand the story, not just rush through some aspects, honestly. And like I said, they just gloss over some aspects, and if they tell them the right way, they actually could feel emotion, because how that's cute how there are certain aspects I didn't really find, plus that the film gets pretty boring after a while along with losing focus on what it actually wants to show and focus upon. You can actually really feel the runtime at points, honestly. Especially the too many leads, you don't really care about a character, some actor, especially Jeremy Lee, feeling wasted at all. And this isn't a bad movie by any means. This is me going like, oh, I hate it so much. But it's one of the movies that had some potential to actually be a very interesting and engaging movie, but just the execution and the structure ends up falling flat. So I would give this movie a 46 out of C. Just a meh film. Next film we got is a house with a clock on its walls. And I'm thinking, which I actually enjoyed. I thought that would be pretty fun, actually. And this is Eli Roth. Like, I've not seen all the Roth movies, but the ones I've seen, especially this year's Death Wish. Yeah, that movie sucks. But it actually was a lot of fun, actually, which is something I didn't really expect. But I felt definitely Jack Black and Keith Blanchett. They bring a lot of greatness into this fun movie. The dancers feel damn great. And he works so incredibly well. Michelle Long has some of the best humor in the movie. The little boy, he's a mixed bag here because he does his best one was given, but when it came to more emotional, sad scenes, I felt like his crying was very off, honestly. The effects are also very often. Well, some are great, while some not so great. And while the villains actually a lot more compelling as mentioned, I do wish we had more of them, honestly. Same with the world building. I wish there was more of that world building, because the world actually seemed pretty interesting. Interesting. Some of the characters are actually pretty interesting. The school is actually pretty good as well. Again, there was a lot of fun and enjoyment, and this film kind of made me smile a lot throughout the movie, which is to expect. And while this film isn't anything amazing, unfortunately, but the fact that Eli actually made a fun and friendly movie really surprised me. And overall, I would give it a 76 out of being a fun, enjoyable movie. Next film was actually Proud Mary, which is a film that actually came back in January and then saw until a couple months ago. And there's really not a whole lot I can honestly say about this movie, honestly. It's pretty boring, kind of forgettable. Charlotte Perez is definitely the best thing about it. She's very committed, she is great, the kid's also great, and her relationship between her and the kid are definitely the best part of this movie. And the actual while anything special, it's still fun handled. But everything else in terms of writing, the story, the editing, the music, the characters, and the two leads and the villains, I didn't really care what was going on. I even thought, boy, I thought it was going to be like around 80 minutes long. So again, there's not really much I can say about Proud Mary, honestly. It's not terrible or anything. It's not like one of the worst of the year, but this is a film that's just not good. And I would give it a 36 of a C-. Not one of the worst, but I would still skip it. Next movie, guys, not really sure why I reviewed, and that is Sorry to Bother You, which is definitely one of the most unique films I've seen in a while. It's very unique, original, special with how it tells its concept and story. And I remember when I first saw it, I really couldn't stop thinking about it because it's a very out there movie. It's out there in the best of ways. Like, I didn't fully process it. I haven't really rewatched it since though, but there are also like things I remember from this movie because this is a film that's very out there, uses a lot of great elements to try to tell a story and its messages, but I think it handles it all in the most incredible way. Bruce Willis and me did a fantastic job directing. He's got some excellent writing, incredible editing. This movie pretty much majorly all excellent in every department in terms of its use of metaphors and excellent performances, especially from Nikki Stanfield, Tessa Thompson, and Armie Hammer. Some hilarious comedy, some really great and interesting characters, a story that kept my interest throughout. Excellent direction. Again, it's been excellent in every department, especially in terms of music department and the writing department. I also feel those dry in a couple of areas, and maybe that will change or never watch this movie, but that's still my only problem. But Sorry About You is still clever, unique, and great, but in all the best ways. And I can understand why some people might not like this movie, because I know some people that really do not like, kind of hate this movie. And honestly, it's one of the films that I can kind of see why people come from that. But me, I actually love this movie. This film is truly fantastic. And I would give it a 98 of an A. Close to perfection, but still amazing. The next film I must discuss is The Kindergarten Teacher, the first of many Netflix movies you're going to see on this review, think. And this was a good and solid film overall. I really thank to Maggie Gyllenhaal, who was a fantastic performance, and still one of the best part of this movie. The character can be unlikable at times, but her motivation and performance still make you care about her. And the film sells the most available, even though it doesn't hit as well as occurred. The thing overall is good and solid. The script's well written, has great moments, great interactions. The story, for the most part, kept me interested, and it can even get a little at times, especially if you ever felt obsessive about something. And that's something I did not expect, but works very well. The film can get pretty predictable, and can get pretty obvious in certain things. This is one of the times where the kind of cuts the film a little bit. And I know some decisions are made that are very questionable and do hurt the pacing a lot. In fact, this one, like a lot of movies, it really isn't aimed the right home about. And while this one isn't aimed well, I still think this is a good and solid film. And it's pretty much, and a lot of it's really thanks to Maggie Gyllenhaal's incredible performance here. And let's say, if it wasn't her performance, the film probably wouldn't have worked as well as it did, but she really sells it, honestly. This is definitely one of the better Netflix movies I've seen this year, and this is one I would actually, if you're looking for movies to watch, I would actually recommend. I would give it a A2 of a B. I mean, a pretty good would watch. Next, we got another Netflix movie, Apollo, done by Garrett Edwards, who's done the Amazing Rated movies, and he controlled wrong. This film is pretty great. Garrett Edwards did a great job explaining about a very interesting story that really kept my interest throughout. Dan Stevens does deliver a fantastic performance, and you truly do care about his character here. All the other things are great, especially with Michael Sheen getting probably the best performance in the movie. And this is one of the movies that actually does have violence in it, but it uses it to advance the story. This is one film where the violence is just there for the sake of it, just there, and it's just not. It's not any mental story, it's just there for shock. The violence actually serves a purpose here, and I really commend the director for Garrett Edwards for actually making the violence feel like it actually needs there and all that, which is something I really appreciate. There's also a horror film that's really doing that scares you in different ways. Like I said, I always love horror films scare you not just in a typical way, but scares you in different ways. And it's one of the films, despite it being long, I never felt the pacing at all, honestly. Really, at least for me, honestly, which is not that surprised by it. It's very thrilling and interesting at tense at times. Cinematography is gorgeous, sound design's amazing, storytelling's impressive, the journey they seem to go on is pretty amazing. The writing is great, the filmmaking is impressive, and the ending was actually very interesting when that comes too preachy. I would say I wasn't huge on the actual sister character, and I think because of the length and because how brutal this film gets, this is a film I'm probably not going to rewatch. At least not in the moment. Like, someone will say, "Ooh, a pop song, watch that again." Like, not from at least for a while. But Apostle is still a great to fantastic movie that I still do recommend checking out if you haven't, especially if you're a fan of this director, and I'm giving it a 97 of an A. Very close to perfection, but still great. Next, we get to a terrible comedy that is Night School. I was very curious about the movie is because of Michael Dean Lee, who made Barbershop and Ned Kurt and Girls Trip. Those two films are surprising comedies, with Girls Trip being the most surprising movie I've seen last year. Even if you watch this, Girls Trip is still hilarious, and Barbershop and Ned Kurt is still hilarious as well. It wasn't leveled at all, but it still ended up surprising me how great they were. This film, not so much. In fact, it very much sucked. I also think Kevin Hart and Timmy Ash, despite the kind of playing what they usually play, they do try. They are doing their best. They do their best with the material they're given. That's pretty much the only positive of this movie. That they do give their best. They do at least try to bring some material out. This terrible script, but yeah, everything else sucks. I know they did laugh once about this movie. The comedy is pretty terrible, and oh my god, it's kind of painfully annoying at times. The character does have a lot of likable with no redeeming qualities. Then there's a lot of drama that felt really forced with zero depth. And one that actually bothered me is the very, very awful lip syncing that bothered the hell out of me throughout the entire movie. Like, this movie kind of screams, like, that proves film's kind of lazy at points. Like, man. And then Ryan Duncan's also very lazy at times as well, when the jokes they are telling and the characters they're trying to portray here is just, man. And there are a lot of characters and actors that could have been interesting, but end up feeling very wasted here, especially with the wife character. There are a lot of things in the jokes that drag on and on and on, which is definitely a big problem with comedy, is that the many jokes that things that drag out for so long. It was one of the films that was so unrealistic that you really can't suspend disbelief at times. Like, man. And it has probably one of the worst endings I've seen this year. It's one of those endings that makes you feel like you wasted your time watching. Because I think this one was unpredictable, and it kind of ends a different way, but there's one of those times where it ends in a way that just pisses you off, because it makes you feel like you wasted your time watching them, and you feel like the characters really haven't learned anything and whatever. It's just, yeah, and definitely one of the worst endings I've seen in 2018. And this isn't the absolute worst comedy. Like, I've seen incredible worst comedies. This film still isn't good, and this is one every scene I would not recommend. I would give it a 6 with D-. I would be mistaken for a better comedy, like maybe check out Baltimore Next Card or Ghost Trip, just not this. Next film I want to discuss is Next Gen, a Netflix movie that's just decent, fun, and harmless. That's almost the best way to describe Next Gen, honestly. This part I haven't remembered on to start watching, because it's very harmless and fun. I haven't really truly seen it, but there is some fun to be had in this movie. This is just a film that's just fun for what it was, honestly. That's all I know. This is my Next Gen, honestly. I would give it a season 2 would be mine. It's a decent film, but this is a film I really haven't remembered much or thought about much since I saw it. And again, that's really honestly. I mean, I recommend maybe your kid like small for your kids probably will love it. You probably won't hate yourself, but this is a film I'm probably not going to remember anytime soon, though. Next, we got The Night Comes From Us, one of the best Netflix movies to come out this year. This one's a total freaking blast. Like, my god, this is the definition of a badass action movie, but in the best ways. The action is incredible and awesome to watch. The acting is really great and for this film is trying to do. All the story isn't anything interesting. Got my interest around. I was invested in what he was going through. The style's amazing. The cinematography is gorgeous. The writing is surprisingly great with some great and awesome moments. And like Apostle, the violence was really well handled without becoming too excessive. Or naturally serves the story. And there are some moments that are very over the top and up there, but it's over the top and honestly the best part of the work. This is the definition of an over the top, badass action film. Not for me. If you love something that's truly fun and entertaining, one you can just put on and just have the time of your life, this is another movie I would definitely recommend. Even as a mom's actually a tense film, which I did not expect. I also feel something that kind of went on too long and people find are a little too questionable. But this is the definition of a fun, over-the-top action movie done right. But also has some substance in it as well. This film, if you want to have a blast, want to have the time of your life, I would definitely recommend that comes for us. This film is just badass in all the best ways. Now we give it a 95 and A. Close to perfection, but still great. Next, we got to Been So Long, another Netflix movie. The same musical that was fun for a while was. It isn't one of the best movies, but it's not one of the better ones. It does suffer from being out of focus at times, some characters not being memorable or interesting, basically really drinking new areas, some songs not being the greatest, and certainly nothing amazing, but the performances from the main leads are great. Some songs are actually very fun and catchy and enjoyable to listen to. A romance that actually is well done and believable, I actually really care about the relationship. Great cinematography, interesting writing, and some great musical numbers. Really haven't found the being as fun as it is. Fun is really the best way to spend a movie. One music that's just fun and enjoyable, I would recommend checking out Been So Long. It's definitely not going to blow you away, but if you're a very musical person, this is one I would definitely recommend seeing. Now we give Been So Long a 76 of a B. Very flawed, but still worth seeing. Next film to discuss is Summer of '84. This one's definitely one of the most fun, entertaining, and interesting horror movies I've seen in a while. A total blast to watch. It does have a lot of 80s nostalgia, but it's not like overbearing, and it's used when it needs to be used. Definitely from the kids are all around great. They're very well acted. They work incredibly well together, and although some of them have much development, they only develop enough that we can actually care about them. But then we character honestly really steals the show, honestly. This movie also one of the most better paced horror movies I've seen in a while, and I never felt one bit, honestly. It's very 80s, but in all the best ways. It's very well shot. It's very well shot, very engaging, very fun. Honestly, the third act movie is honestly worth seeing this movie. Well, first half is like very funny and entertaining. Third act really raises the stake and becomes one of the most unique, different, and insane third acts I've seen in a horror movie, especially when how it ends and who the neighbor is. Like, it's on that. I just wow. This is what pretty much that's pretty much worth seeing from this movie alone is how awesome this film ends. Like man, this film's just. My problem with the movie is that I said, well, I still care about kids. I do wish they would get a little more development. Well, they can develop they need. I do wish they would, just a little bit more, just a little bit. And the parents are. And the parents of the main kid can get pretty stupid at times, especially one scene where it's like, are you that stupid? But again, overall, Summer '84 is one of the most entertaining horror films I've seen this year, one of the most fun horror movies I've seen in a while, and I would definitely recommend checking this film out. I would give it a 94 of an 8 minus. A definite great worth watch. This is the last movie I actually saw around October, and that is Never Going Back. While this is honestly one of A24's best movies, it's still pretty good, honestly. Maya Mitchell and Kim Monroe deliver fantastic performances. They have some of the best and most believable chemistry I've seen all year. You do believe the journey going on. But Kyle Mooney, who was in Breakthrough Bear last year, which was one of my favorite movies last year, one of the most overlooked movies of last year, is amazing here. He pretty much steals every single scene, and he finds the movie's best use of his humor. This movie also has a very unique style. He's telling story and dream. It's actually very impressive, and I appreciate the writers are trying to do something unique, honestly. The movie is a little lowbrow and juvenile, but for the most part, it actually works what the movie is trying to do, and it sees in the themes it is really trying to do, and it's film's kind of quick watch. It's like 85 minutes, and it never drags. I do wish some, but some of the jokes definitely don't really hit, especially one joke where I was kind of like, ugh. And unfortunately, this film doesn't leave you with emotional impact, especially since a lot of people have really means some true emotion. And what is that emotion? I'm not saying that. It just doesn't feel emotional for you. Maybe if I end up rewatch this movie at some point, it'll have more emotion on me, makes me be better on rewatch. Whereas right now, I wasn't feeling a whole lot of emotion near the end. Like I was feeling like I don't know what it was, but this movie didn't reach the true height for me, honestly. But again, this film is still a pretty good movie. It's not one A24's best, but this film I was definitely worth watching. I would give it a 90 of an A minus. A great worth watch. Now I'm telling the film that I see in November, but now we're on to reviewing. First up, Napoli Ever After. A Netflix movie that's definitely one of the brightest seen. I enjoyed it a little more than I expected. It's nothing amazing or mind-blowing, I agree, but it's a fun film with a real-handed message and a great lead performance from Southside Nathan. It just has a great moments, it does have some fun, humor, and some pretty good dramatic moments here. It is well shot, it's well handled, and it does have some really good moments here and there. Some characters definitely get on my nerves, and I wasn't huge on the main character first, honestly, but just some questionable decisions he made. And it's one of the movies where it being predictable that kind of affects the movie, honestly, and messes with the emotional impact this film was going for. And because of it, I really feel the true emotional content feel I hardly felt anything near the end because of how obvious it was. And I wish the companies would handle better, but this film is just fun. It's a pretty fun Netflix movie. I still recommend. So overall, I'm gonna give Napoli Ever After a 78 of a B. A very flawed, but still worth watching. And we got none of a movie that I've seen a lot of Netflix movies last couple months. We got 22 July, which is done by the great Paul Greengrass. Unfortunately, this one ended up being a bit worth it. So I would say this film is decent, honestly. It's decent enough where I can recommend it. But unfortunately, for me at least, I like the emotional impact that I hope we would reach on. I honestly really like this movie, but and I can definitely see why some like it, but for me, like maybe on rewatch will change, but for me right now, I think this film doesn't really leave an emotional impact going for. That's a shame because the story is actually pretty interesting as trying to tell. You do have some good performances and characters, some solid direction, some well-shot cinematography, some good moments here and there. And it's definitely one of the film that has enjoyable moments, and it's very well intended. It's just how it's executed and structured. This one just didn't really leave the emotional impact I was hoping it would go. Also not exploring certain elements, like an interesting character, and being way too long while I was bored at some points. Yeah, I have no trouble saying it's a decent movie, and I would do recommend it. But for me, it just didn't impact me as much as I was hoping it would do. It just didn't do a whole lot for me. Still recommend it though. Maybe find some enjoyable than I did. I will give it a 68 or B minus. A decent little matinee watch. Maybe John Wayne did, but for me, it just didn't really do the impact I was hoping to go. Next, we got The Princess Switch. This one is forgettable. There's not much I can honestly say about it, honestly. It just has some solid acting and some good occasional moments of heart to it. But still, I can't hardly remember it all at all, honestly. The film's just forgettable, honestly. It's a bad forgettable Netflix movie. I would just give it a 22 with deep minus. A plain forgettable movie. That's really all I can say about The Princess Switch. Next film I'm talking about is The Nutcracker and the Four Elves. This film is really good, all honestly. Like, it's unwatchable or any truly bad by any means. Like, it's close to not being bad. Thanks to some good performances, some great costume visual design, a good score, and some good characters here and there. But in terms of depth, substance, amazing direction, writing, interesting story, and development of the characters and elements, there really isn't much, honestly. Honestly, Keira Knightley, though, she is way too over the top of it here, and she kind of ruins some aspects of this movie. Honestly, like, yes, Keira Knightley, like, I like her as an actress, but she kind of ruins the movie at points. And that doesn't mean I haven't really met much of to think about it, because there's not much that truly stands out from the Nutcracker Four Realms. Like, nothing that truly is just like, oh my god, this movie's amazing, honestly, fortunately. Like, maybe some people enjoyed more than I did, but for me, it just didn't do much for me. I would give it a 38 of a C minus. Not bad by any means, but I will still skip it. Next, we have another Netflix movie, The Christmas Chronicles. A surprisingly good Christmas movie. This is one I actually enjoyed a Christmas movie. I'm on one at least in quite some time, honestly. But now thanks to some solid writing, some well-told messages, great costume design, good humor, and a film that really does get you in the Christmas spirit, which is something that a modern film that hadn't done in me in years, honestly. Now, all of it's also really thanks to Kurt Russell's performance as Santa Claus. Like, the acting is also pretty great as well. It definitely very does. I wish some characters got a little more fleshed out. I wish some of it doesn't really work. Some CGI is not that good, honestly. Yeah, I wish some still elements hell better. I'm not sure if I would call it like a big Christmas classic. But if you want something that really helps and gets you in the Christmas spirit, like a modern Christmas that really gets you into the spirit on holidays and Christmas, this is one I would actually recommend checking out, honestly. I kind of smile my face throughout the majority of the movie. It's a simple, fun, and pretty good Christmas movie. That's in a brilliant way, but if you're looking for a modern Christmas film to watch, this is one I actually recommend checking out, honestly. I would give it an 86 of a B+. It's still good worth watch. Last film on discuss is Outlaw King, which is directed by David Mackenzie, the person who did Had a High Water a couple years ago, which is a film that ended up being my top 10 best films of that year, a film that I love the more I watch it. Unfortunately, this film just doesn't work, honestly. This film could have been actually interesting and engaging, but it just doesn't do well. Like, the acting is great, the designs are pretty cool, it is well shot, the battle sequences are pretty incredible, fun, and it does have some good moments of potential, and you thought they were trying to plug a story, but the way this film is directed and written, it just didn't make me care that much of the character, it didn't engage me at all. It didn't go for the hardness, I didn't get into the story that they're trying to tell, fortunately. It also had so much in certain areas that I was kind of bored off out of this movie. I just didn't care about what's going on, since the film didn't really do much to make me care about what was going on, honestly. And there are some greatness to be had in terms of acting and battle sequences. It just, again, it didn't do much for me, honestly. Honestly, this is a terrible. This is far from being one of Netflix's worst movies, actually this year. But Outlaw King is unfortunately not good. I would give it a 42 a C. It's a definition of meh. Only 3 more films to go, and the next one I'm talking about is The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I hope I'm not saying right, which I thought was done by the Coen brothers, and I thought to be pretty damn good at. One of the better anthology movies I've seen in a long time. I'd say 5 or 6 were close to amazing. There was like only one I really didn't like, and that's the one from James Franco. That's the one I really wasn't a huge fan of or didn't care for, but the other I thought were pretty much good to great to excellent, especially the first one. Like, the first one was pretty incredible. Most of them others didn't really reach those heights. There was some others than, of course, the James Franco one was still pretty great as well. The acting across the board is great. Everyone was great. I was mostly engaged in everything that's going on. The cinematography is gorgeous. The music is great. The writing is great. The writing is top notch. Like, here's how I rate all the stories. Here's how I rate all the stories. 6 Near Adulterous, 5 Nil Tickets, 4 All Gold Canyon, 3 The Guy Who Got Rattled, 2 The Mole Remains. My favorite probably be the first one, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. And the last one was the only one I actually didn't like. The other I thought were great too, amazing. Amazing. And the last one's the only one I didn't like. That just didn't care about the story and what's going on. And coming on these 2 dragon scenarios, but this is still a pretty good anthology that I would still recommend. I would give it a 90 of an A minus. A damn good worth watch. Next film on discuss is, and by the last Netflix movie on this review section, that is Cam, which is now in the debate between Private Life as probably the best Netflix movie I have seen this year. Like, man, this film really was wow. Wow, and this one is in the debate between Private Life as the best Netflix movie I've seen this year because it is so great. It's one of the Netflix movies that I would actually recommend not going in, not knowing much. That's pretty much how I went, not going in. I end up surprised in a lot of areas. Like, you got some great direction, an excellent lead performance from Madeline Brewer. She was fantastic. Some sharp writing, some great suspense moments, some great intense moments. Like, so the direction of the girl that was surprisingly and unpredictable. Like, I'm not trying to say much about the story or the characters because it's one of the movies that I would have been going not knowing much about it. You also got gorgeous cinematography. A story that's very top notch and surprisingly engaging, but the pacing never drags, honestly. It's still that really keeps you interesting, it really keeps you invested, and it goes in directions that I really wasn't expecting, honestly. I also think the ending goes a tad bit off the rails, and I like a couple feels like a puzzle. This because of how tense the movie can get, and the man goes on. This is a film I'm probably not going to watch it time soon, at least for a while, because of the suspense and the unnervingness it pulls. But again, this is definitely one of the best films that Netflix has done, and it shows that Netflix, despite its reputation, can pull off some great films, I would give it a 98 of an A. Close to perfection, but still gracefully amazing. And now for the last thing I'm going to be talking about is Robin Hood! Rob Bean! Yeah, Robin Hood. This film's pretty bad. This film isn't good at all. Like, it's definitely not one episode worse or something, but again, it's pretty bad. I would say for me, you guys just do try to bring something here. While the actors aren't amazing in some actors, and some I think can be pretty over the top at times, the actors do try their best. The Karen Edgerton, Jamie Foxx, and Matt Mickelson, they do try with their roles. They do try bringing something to the table, honestly. They're not amazing, but they do the best what they're given it. You just have a few cool moments here and there, but that's really it. Direction is terrible in another place, the writing is terrible in another place, the characters are so bland, boring, and interesting, especially the main officer, that's more of a beauty object than an actual character. And the main villain is, without question, one of the most generic, boring, and unthreatening villain I've seen in a while. Like, he's really like, let's get Robin get Robin, I want Robin, right now, Robin Hood! That's basically him throughout the entire movie. Even Robin Hood is not going to be a character either. You even like more points. I mentioned the action is poorly developed, and the action is poorly shot, the cinematography is poorly shot. It's very boring, even lazy at points, the story doesn't go anywhere interesting, and it feels spectacularly to keep you interesting, keeping your best as you do. And if feeling bored, this film really fails to make you care about what's going on. The score isn't that good, the editing is on the worst of the year, and it has one of the most poorly executed sequel-based endings I've seen in a while. Considering that this film kind of on the box office, I doubt we're going to get a sequel anytime soon. And so overall, there's not much I can say about Robin Hood. It's kind of as bad as I actually expected it to be. It's not an absolute train wreck, like I'm saying this, but again, for me, it's still pretty bad. For me, I would give it a 13 of a D. It's an awful bland bore. It's a true bore indeed. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick review section. There are a lot of these I've seen, but let me know what thoughts on all the films that you've seen. Like, let me know what your thoughts on all these movies. How would you rate them, and what you say about them? Let me know in the comments down below. And sorry I haven't do much reviews lately. It turns out really hasn't been any interesting movies I haven't seen lately. The movies I see I haven't really much to talk about. So if I'm seeing any people I do apologize, but hoping I can see some soon movies soon and I have reviews from you guys. And I actually do plan on seeing Bumblebee at an early screen this Saturday, so I'm definitely gonna have that review for you guys. Like, I'm actually very excited to see Bumblebee. And I will be doing my gameplay with The Wolf Among Us. My primary through to my next video actually isn't going to be a blind one, because I actually did record my episode 3, but unfortunately the first didn't process well, unfortunately, so I might have to redo that. So the next episode might not actually be anything being blind or anything, but I will start to more Among Us. Not 100% I'm going to try 2. We'll see about that goes. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I honestly really do appreciate it. If you haven't, be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites that are all linked down below. I am Samuel World from Samuel Worldreviews. I'll see you next time, and stay cool about that. Peace.